I'm not going to tell you again, put the suit on.
I'm not going to listen again because I'm not going to wear it.
Look, it's going to stretch. Put the suit on.
What's up, folks? I'm Josiah, he's Seth. We are going to talk about Crash Bandicoot and the history of the advertising and commercials, some of our favorite from PlayStation history. So
Seth, that's one of the most memorable things about Crash Bandicoot. A lot of us have played the games, but I think more people have seen and remember the old 90s Remember the old 90s commercials with the guy in the suit with the blatantly obvious hole in the teeth where you could see him, and it's like it was a great era of I think so much of the history of I'm really into the history of video game commercials, and that time of the mid to late 90s was a time of really kind of like clever, irreverent kind of advertising for video games, and Crash Bandicoot is one of the most outstanding and most memorable of the entire lot. So what we are going to do is we are going to give a commentary of just about all the Crash commercials that I could find. We're talking North American and Japanese. There are some from some other territories we won't be covering quite as much, like some Australian commercials and European ones and stuff like that. But we've got a wide variety for you. So we're just going to, I recommend you look them up and check them out. But we are going to be watching them here live. And
some of my favorite commercials I've ever seen, and the advertising for it is so good because they're so self-aware. So
yes.
They know, so Crash, if you're not familiar, and if you're watching this, you probably are. He's like a bimbo. He's a bimbo if you're a Seinfeld fan. He's a male bimbo.
He's like a doofus. He's like kind of a lovable, kind of like a...
Yeah.
He reminds me almost of like Johnny Knoxville or something, some kind of a... but more good-natured. And obviously we're doing this because of the Insane trilogy coming out this week. So, especially in light of them having brought the guy in the costume back for more commercials and live appearances. We were just at E3 and we got to meet him several times, and it was...
We met Mr. Bandicoot himself.
The man lives up to the legend. That's all we can say, even though he's a different man than it was in the 90s.
He's so funny. He's so funny.
He's one of the highlights of the week for me.
Yeah, we got some interaction with him. Seth got some interaction with him on camera. You can check out that video on our channel at the youtube.com/thegeekiverse. We also did a podcast, our show, our all video game show called Geeks Got Game. Mm-hmm. You can listen to that on iTunes and SoundCloud. We did a Crash Bandicoot history. So we go through all the major games and releases as well as how the idea stemmed.
Yes.
So you can listen to that today.
Check it out.
And, without further ado,
let's start out some of the North American commercials for Crash Bandicoot, starting with the commercials that promoted Crash 1 as well as the initial PlayStation brand. Oops, I missed it.
Miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Hours, we got a call that a man was acting erratically.
Okay.
So
that...
Wiggly.
Yeah.
I forgot about this. Oh, Aku.
This is the... And this is the time of of cops television shows, and this is when cops being interviewed. This is more of a news segment, but I like his attitude towards it is just like it's annoying, and apparently it happens a lot. And he's got the Aku Witch Doctor mask. Do not underestimate the power of PlayStation. One of the early PlayStation slogans.
The original
pre-DualShock controller there. All right, let's move on. Okay, so this is before when he stormed the Nintendo offices. He was trying to find the Nintendo offices in Seattle. Yeah. It was an ongoing odyssey.
I love that marketing.
And pit stops. This was like an ongoing thing. Like this was a saga through several commercials.
And the way they tried to take down Nintendo, they had their chance to merge Sony and Nintendo, if you didn't know, in terms of their next console.
That's right.
And
That's
collaborate.
How the PlayStation came out. Oh, this is great.
Sony did their own thing.
So this is an example of a commercial that is actually advertising generally PlayStation.
Market for a new game system. Are you aware, Mr. Feldman, that Sony's PlayStation has more than 150 games? NHL Face Off 97.
So he's just crossing.
Face Off.
Destruction Derby 2. Crash Bandicoot. I could go on. I'm going to give you a personal
I just like that.
Get off my lawn, you freak.
I'm coming up.
Get off my lawn, you freak. Pizza Hut. Okay. So I got, and I still have, I could probably pull it out of my bin over there, a sampler a demo sampler from Stuffed Crust Pizza, and it was a
yeah.
PlayStation demo. It had Silent Hill on it. It had Crash Team Racing on it.
Oh, okay.
And one of the Twisted Metals, probably 3, maybe 4.
Crash
4.
Team Racing?
It would have been 4 then.
3 or 4, yeah. Probably 4.
I played the heck out of Crash Team Racing. I'm not housebroken.
This was like early Stuffed Crust as well.
Oh, here
okay,
we go.
And this is the big one. This is one of the famous ones. It might not actually be a Nintendo office, but nevertheless.
Worst nightmare.
And the megaphone's been an enduring part of the live-action Crash Bandicoot guy, because he had that at E3, shouting at random people. Oh, wait, and...
No, Bandicoot is an Australian name.
I don't know if that's a real security. It really looks like... Okay.
Oh,
so now,
this one.
So that was all Crash 1 era stuff. This is Crash 2 now.
Did you see our actor friend? They posted a picture on the Crash Bandicoot Twitter of him trying to go through one of these.
Really?
Yes, just like
I
old
didn't know
time.
that.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Oh, I'm so...
It's a
I
callback.
can't tell you how happy I am they brought that back.
Yep.
So...
He
yeah,
said
this
every
is-
time I try to go through TSA or something.
Yeah. And
What foreshadowing that is, by the way. Like,
Short vacation and Crash
is back. So that was a... So that was the recurring slogan for each of these Crash 2 commercials. After a short vacation, Crash is back. And it was short, because he was back in about a year.
that's incredible that they did that year after year.
Okay. Now we're already moving into Crash Bandicoot Warped here. So this is one of the Crash Bandicoot commercials, one of the few Crash Bandicoot commercials that actually doesn't have Crash in it.
$49.97.
$49. Yeah, games always cost. Yeah, people forget about that. I mean, games even back in Atari days, they always cost like $50 or $60.
Not until the 360 PS3 era did they move up to 60 or $59.99.
Canadian Tire. Okay, so this is when. This is another general PlayStation commercial, and this is when he started teaming up with some of the other mascots they had going on. We have Sweet Tooth from Twisted Metal.
I never saw this one.
And Lara Croft.
Oh! Old school Lara. Dude, the Sweet Tooth one is awesome.
And there's a few of them. It's a bit of an outdated
great
view
and
on
creepy.
Modern Romance, but
For a very exciting spring. But first, the boys
What? I never saw this either. It's so creepy. Dude, Twisted Metal was so dark.
this is like Twisted Metal 3 era. This
was
is when
still
this is when
messed
it
up.
started being more cartoony. It wasn't quite as dark.
It was getting there, man.
It was,
I don't know.
and these are the best. When he's getting training, there's a series of these.
Definitely saw these.
And
The training wheels.
there's videos of outtakes from these commercials that are also hilarious.
I love this. This was one of my favorites from back in the day. Him waving like he did.
Yeah.
I'm losing my mind. See, this is what we were talking about in the podcast, how they changed the dynamic going into Crash Bandicoot 3.
Yeah.
With Warped.
Because it's they add all the vehicle segments, so he has to get trained
This is
in all
another
this.
favorite of mine.
Look, it's going to stretch. Put the suit on.
Are these legal? Can I use these?
It's going to stretch.
Coming through. Cannonball.
And there's a few different actors that played Crash Bandicoot throughout the series of these commercials.
I liked you better with a mustache.
I like this guy better. The guy who played him in the Crash 2 commercials isn't quite as funny. He's a little too hammy. But this guy is more kind of sardonic, more like...
There's some shrinkage.
I like this guy better.
Seinfeld callback.
This guy is more similar to...
Shrinkage.
This guy's more similar to the Crash Bandicoot we have now, because we have a Crash Bandicoot now, which is a very
And
exciting
he
thing.
is incredible.
Yeah, and he's
He's
like
perfect.
this. He's more like sassy. He's
He
more
is
like...
sassy. I do remember this one too. Oh my gosh. They're all coming back. Because they showed all the different new dynamics that he could do, whether that was being in a plane or being in water.
Okay,
You
now
name
we
it.
move. Yes, now we move on to Crash Team Racing, with the recurring phrase in the commercials: "When he gets behind the wheel, things get ugly." And we'll see that. The commercial ends with my favorite Crash Bandicoot phrase of all time.
Who wants to pet me?
Who wants to pet me?
You and me. Booyah, Grandma. Booyah.
Oh, one of the
And
classics.
Crash himself said that with me, and that was one of the great honors of all time. And yeah,
What a classic.
trash talking. Continuing on from the previous commercial.
This is just, oh my gosh. What
Man.
nostalgia this is bringing about for me.
And these commercials are still as funny now as they were then. I
Yes,
think.
they're timeless. They
I
really
think they're
are.
particularly appealing
Just like
to,
the games.
to adolescents. It's the same grandma. It's the same grandma that's still getting hassled by a crowd.
Yeah.
Okay, this one I didn't see quite as often. The
I've
roller
not
derby
seen this one.
Hey, big boy. You got a face in your teeth.
Get the face in your teeth.
Yeah. All right now. You suck. You want some?
Crash Team Racing. It's a free-for-all on wheels.
Amazing.
Take it back.
See, that seemed like a different actor again. They switched the actor. And the last Crash Team Racing commercial that we have is one I don't ever remember seeing when I was a kid. But
You've run 2 guys off the road. You've been throwing green stuff into the path of oncoming vehicles.
Step out of the car now.
We got you on video.
And the classic music. Oh man, I love it.
Hey Murphy, look what I found in the trunk.
I've hit Jamie with those many a times.
now, Crash Bash. So this is a Cartoon Network promo for a giveaway they were doing.
Crash
Looks
Bash
very
was the
different.
the PlayStation Slim. Holy crap! I forgot about that.
PS Oni, yeah, the PS1, which I had one, and with the attachable screen, it was great. I guess I didn't have much of a use for it because I didn't really travel or anything. I just
Crash Bash was the first party game setting for the franchise. We had the linear gameplay beforehand, which was single player, and then we moved to the multiplayer Crash Team Racing. So Crash Bash was the third dynamic that we saw for the overall theme of games. It was a lot of fun, particularly if you did have a lot of people over. Oh my gosh, this is great. I do remember this one actually.
Yeah, I don't remember this one.
I was not a fan of the tank dynamic with that. Dynamic is the code word here that I'm using constantly. But
Mechanic, is that what you think?
mechanic.
Mechanic? The new mechanics they introduced? In the last Crash Bash commercial. What is this? What is this? SOCOM? What is this? What is this? Metal Gear? What is this for? Is it Siphon Filter?
Could use a new siphon filter.
Why is everyone being so quiet?
Head-to-head multiplayer rumble.
These just epitomize what Crash is.
Tell me you have a plan.
So that does it for the main bulk of North American commercials we have for you. But we're not done yet because we have...
We're not done yet, folks!
Next up, we're going to be looking at a string of Japanese commercials for Crash Bandicoot. And you thought we were daffy now. You ain't seen nothing yet. So stay tuned in just a moment and we're going to get to that. Okay, now we ran through most of the North American commercials for Crash Bandicoot that we would find from the Crash Bandicoot 1 all the way through Crash Bash, and now we're going to be looking at a small group of Japanese commercials. Have you ever seen these before?
I will not know until I've seen them here. And they may call back some flashbacks for me.
There's something else. I mean, Japanese advertising in general tends to have a goofier sense of humor, but, you know, to us, not understanding what they're saying, everything, and probably to most of the people watching, you won't understand what they're saying, so it's all viewed out of context, and that makes it even funnier for us.
It's perfect for Crash.
It's ginger ale and triple sec as well.
Yes, or Fireball and Ice.
You're drinking
Fire and Ice.
英雄クラッシュバンディクー誕生です。偉いから歌までできちゃいました。今度の主役はこんなやつ。
That's it.
Interesting. That was an
He just
interesting
walks in
looking.
and gets crushed by his own statue.
Okay.
It's kind of
Yeah. Doesn't even look like the final Crash.
Okay, there's a lot of these commercials that are dedicated to the Crash Bandicoot dance, and with that early 3D animation, boy, does that look weird. He's got like this jutting out.
Oh no. The Crash dance.
There's more to come.
He looks so goofy.
He looks really weird in this commercial. That snout sticks out way farther than it should have. And those bug eyes, those soulless eyes. He didn't have those in the game. And
yeah, that's interesting.
I'm not sure what this is. Wait. Oh,
クラッシュバンディクーを称える
Some of
踊り
these
で
are
す。
kind of twice in a
さ
row.
あ皆さんご一緒に。
I don't know if there's any variations. Just in case you missed it the first time. Crash. That's the Japanese commercial theme that has been getting stuck in my head this week.
Yeah, that'll be in my head now. I can't wait to play this.
3D オ
my
フ
gosh.
スクロールアクションゲームクラッシュバンディクー、しかも4発。
It's like Parappa the Rabbit out there.
He did. Okay. I don't know. His shell cracks and he is Crash underneath. I wish I could understand what they're saying. And there's a couple watching this on TV.
It's interesting how different he looks. Like, it's, for all intents and purposes, the same game.
These are really good. There's a few of these that are taking place in a school. And for some reason, I really like these. Okay, so the suit, this is a different suit than the American commercials had. He has different facial expressions, like his eyes, sometimes. For one thing, they have small pupils, and he gives like this weird kind of zoned out look, and sometimes they're kind of like droopy like that. And it looks like he's either bored or falling asleep.
He looks high.
And he's also moving around and everything. Let's just watch this. Let's enjoy.
So his pupils changed there.
But this is my favorite part. Is when he just gets jammed in the door.
What is with those different eyes?
Yeah.
Like, that's so bizarre.
And bring the dance back.
Anytime we go to a future wedding, you and I need to do the Crash dance. It's going to be wonderful. Crash is standing there like this. Oh my gosh. He has fantastic posture.
And here we go. Yay.
Oh man, I love it. Teaching it in school.
Sometimes I still know. This one is by far the weirdest one. You'll see what I mean. This gets
What? What? Are we?
I knew.
What? What? Stop it!
This.
Why is his face like
this
that?
gets weirder. Look at this.
Why? Oh.
I don't know.
So she's like,
well, I think he has like scars from his previous adventures, but I
That's
can't
not
help but
what's
see
being
a
communicated.
romantic subtext into this.
oh my gosh. I think there's a number of issues with this one. What? Basically in phys ed, like getting, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I feel like we're going to get like some sort of strike on our YouTube channel for this. They're going to be like, what are you guys doing?
All right. Gets better now. All right. This is more innocent. He's got a gym class. He's got a little gym class cap on. Like we all had, right? They just like, it was like, I feel like they included a take of him, the guy in the suit, having trouble getting up from sitting, but they just went with it anyway, because it's just part of this weird charm.
Oh.
マジです。マジです。マジです。マジです。マジです。俺ちょっとクラッシュにはがっかりしたな。でも可愛いじゃない。あ、薄め開けてる。
He looks more like, not Brian from Family Guy, but one of the other dogs from Family Guy.
This is more innocent. This is more enchanting. Asleep Before Christmas.
そうださんがなんで僕に君が好きだからよ本当ですか
I just don't know what to make of the Japanese Crash guy.
It's
I just
weird.
never know what's going on behind those eyes.
Like this Crash character is totally different.
Yeah.
And the pupils change. Like they never change on the American version.
Yeah.
It's the same mask or the same costume.
I don't know if that's a real Japanese pop star, but
Crash loves it.
And
he's swinging in December.
And there he is. He meets his eye.
It's got to be a real thing. Like, comment below if you know what that is. Oh, man.
That looks like the same teacher from the other clips as well. He's always the guy that's showing the dance to everybody.
Does it? I think it looks different.
It looks like it. He's dressed differently, but it looks like the same actor.
I love that it's a thing.
Yeah. Oh, the Crash dance is the talk of the town.
See, the other thing is the theme music is so iconic to me, and here it's totally flipped on its head. Totally different.
It is catchy, though.
It is catchy. Oh, man.
Crash did that on stage with Tim Geddes on the GameSpot stage at E3.
It was awesome.
It was wonderful.
Did you see me in the background of that video?
I did. You know what?
I'm in the background of the video.
In the background of part of that video, you can see off to the side the video of when I was filming you in Crash blocked my camera. You can see it.
Oh, when Greg Miller hugged me?
Is it like right just before that?
Okay.
But you can see Crash out of the side covering up my camera. So it's you can actually see that from two perspectives.
Oh,
Crash,
that's awesome.
Photobombing us, which he did multiple times.
I saw myself in that like halfway through, just kind of creepily peering through the glass. Like
Yeah.
it was fantastic.
So this is a news report. They're investigating Crash as if he's an enigmatic creature that they're hunting. Not hunting, but following. This is for Crash Bandicoot War, which they call Crash Bandicoot 3. There he is. Christmas party, Christmas dance party. Some of the stuff I just don't know what to say. There's like this frozen old man.
I don't. Maybe it's just like the culture thing. I don't know. Like the cultural norms, I should say. Yeah. So it is Crash Bandicoot 3 here as well, but like,
But it's not
barely.
called Crash Bandicoot 3.
But it's on the cover.
3 is on the cover?
Yes, but it's minute. It's.
Whoa, I never know. Wow, that's okay. That's very subtle.
Yeah,
it's on the clock in the background of the logo.
Because I remember growing up and being like, Crash Bandicoot 3. Warped. Whoa.
Only Jamie would hear that.
Oh,
racing? Okay, yeah, CTR stuff.
Crash is just hanging out.
And then after this, we have these kind of these melancholy commercials that I think are supposed to be about like aging Crash characters in their wonder years. So,
what the hell? So that's bizarre. Aku and Crash there, like maybe.
There you go.
Kinda?
And then this next one, we get an aging he's Crash and Cortex.
And Coco.
Yeah.
But Crash Team Racing,
it's like Crash Team Racing is like reliving the golden years. It's bringing it back.
Yet it's only a mere 4 years after the first one released.
All right, let's load up.
Nothing beats the physical education one. What? Oh my gosh! Like I feel like I can't get that out of my
That
head.
one may have crossed the line, but
Can you imagine if that released today? Like no.
Oh my gosh!
No. Oh.
Yeah, there's no era where that's appropriate. Let's load up the last couple miscellaneous clips here. Just a moment here. All right, let's finish.
Finish strong,
ladies and gentlemen. Let's finish out. We just have a couple more clips, just a few miscellaneous ones. To try to close off some gaps we had. There may be a commercial or two from your youth that you remember that we haven't covered yet. Well, maybe it'll be covered in this last little stretch to the end here. You ready? Here we go. This is Joe's Crash Bandicoot commercial right here. Advertising general brand.
Oh.
Here we go. It's just for you, Joe. Let's work
thank
more
you,
hockey.
buddy. What a good friend you are, man.
And this one, I remember this one. I remember this, the awkward family dinner.
Oh, that's right. You were in Florida with that guy. Don't talk to my wife that way. Talk to her any way I want to. Excuse me. You know, you're not even I've got to say. I think I want to be a Democrat.
Goodwill to each other. Where's the law?
Oh.
Can't stop, Grandma. And
oh man,
we go to another Japanese one leftover Japanese one leftover dancing one.
Oh, I love it.
And then we have one more after this, back to the North American stuff. Actually, I don't know if this is North America. This is in just a moment. We'll be going back to another Western commercial with Crash. I don't know if you ever seen this. Crash have this kind of extensive voice acting.
I just flew in from the new ruins level, and boy, are my arms tired. Thank you very much.
So,
that was funny stuff. Wow, funny stuff.
if you've ever seen what Crash would look like if he were really unfunny and unlikable and with a lot of voice acting, check out this trailer for Crash 2.
You may remember me from my last.
Is that Andrew House voicing that? Like,
what if?
Can you imagine?
I could see that.
If that was his way into the chain of command.
So yeah, this is. This is not as bright of a spot in the history of Crash.
Part of Crash's charm is that he's almost like a dog. Like he doesn't really talk. A little bit goofy.
He just has all these. He's very emotive. He has
he's
all
lovable.
These, I mentioned in the podcast. He's like a silent film character. He's very just about the motions and the visuals. And he has an Australian accent, which is. But he's saying so many just intensely unfunny things. Like, I just flew in from the Lost Ruins, and boy, are my arms tired. This couldn't have been made by Naughty Dog. This had to have been.
It seems almost like
some misfire marketing attempt. Oh, he's got body odor. Aha! It's not over yet, Joe.
It's all it.
This ain't no short commercial. This is a full trailer.
It's also very, very long. Yeah,
it is. Yeah, this is like a trailer.
He's back. Turns out he's a pretty nice guy. Went to one of those self-help seminars. Turned over a new leaf. He says he's going to help me out this time. Yeah. You know what I told him? Why don't you take a 12-step program off a 10-step pier? And his Motley Crue's back as well.
Yeah, yeah. I'm glad you didn't go in this direction, Naughty Dog and Sony.
We got a little over a minute to go. If you need to tap out, let me know. But
No, that's fine. Let it roll.
Whoa! Talk about bad breath. They must have eaten a barbecue for lunch. And check out these beautiful new levels.
Montebello, California. We were there recently.
Really? Oh, well, I'm guessing you're there's an issue with your credit card.
Possibly.
With the hotel.
Wading through deep water, crawling on my belly.
Where would this have aired? Like on TV?
I don't think it. No.
There's no way.
This could have been trade shows. I wish I would have looked into where this was shown.
I mean, I can't do it alone. I am but one Bandicoot after all. Wait till you see me swing.
No offense, just the accent doesn't line up with like who Crash is supposed to be.
I mean, I guess he would be Australian or at least Tasmanian.
But what they had written him or built his persona up to be, like, just like, I don't know. I don't like Crash with a voice, but there are a lot of other voices I would have chosen before that, I think.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, I mean, the original creators intentionally wanted him not to have a voice because voice acting for characters at the time in 1995 was not good, and they were right. Crikey, man. So
wow, what a bummer.
So ends our stop. Maybe we shouldn't have ended on such a bizarre note, but we did. So, as you can see, we all remember the Crash Bandicoot commercials, but maybe we don't remember all of them, and it certainly had more of a tumultuous history than perhaps we all realized. It even went on from here. You know, the PS2 games and Game Boy Advance games had commercials. They had commercials with the guy in the suit. They were less funny, and also the commercials for Crash Bandicoot Twin Sanity featured the Wild Boys, a.k.a. Steve-O and Chris Pontius from Jackass. So that's worth checking out. But overall, we wanted to cover mainly the PS1 era because that's what it's all about right now with the Insane Trilogy, the remaster of Crash Bandicoot 1, 2, and Warped, coming out for PS4 this week. So we're very excited for that, and we just wanted to take a look back at one of our favorite spots of the history of one of our favorite PlayStation franchises, the commercials.
So I'm smelling a series here because earlier
Really?
on the Geeks Got Game podcast that we recorded,
Crash Bandicoot one.
Correct. I got a little bit of a sense that we should do a history of Twisted Metal. See, Crash Bandicoot is timely. It's coming out.
If you're waiting for a Twisted Metal remastered, you might be waiting a while.
True.
Or anything Twisted Metal. But
like that could be a nice, fun series. I am very, very up to par, if you will, on Twisted Metal. It was Crash and Twisted Metal for me growing up, and I know you not so much Crash, but Twisted Metal we could probably talk about a ton.
Twisted Metal was huge for me. It was among the bigger ones. It was like Metal Gear Solid, Resident Evil, Mortal Kombat, Twisted Metal.
If you played Twisted Metal 2 and didn't use God mode at least once, you weren't a Twisted Metal aficionado.
Were you a Twisted Metal aficionado because you didn't use God mode?
You had to use it at least once. You had to punch in the code. You had to do it.
I suppose.
Did you ever?
I'm sure, I did.
Not getting off topic, did you ever play as Dark Tooth?
Yes. I played as every character. Get every ending.
All right.
Saw every single ending of every Scooby-Doo.
So
turn off the idiot box. The Aquabats. Everyone remember the Aquabats? Speaking of the 90s. Anyway.
we're going to do that. I think that'll be a future video. But what was the best commercial to you?
Yes, please tell us. There's such a wide variety of
What did we miss? What did we miss? Maybe there's one out there we haven't seen. Let us know. Leave a link in the comments below.
Please.
Are you picking up the Insane Trilogy this Friday? Odds are, if you're watching this, you are. But Seth and I are going to be playing the heck out of that this weekend here.
Certainly.
But I think that's probably it for our series here. Listen to the podcast, Geeks Got Game, our Crash Bandicoot special on iTunes and SoundCloud. You can find us on all our social media, twitter.com. We are at the _Geekiverse, Instagram at the Geekiverse, and Facebook.com/the Geekiverse. So we are all over the place. Also, if you want to help us out, subscribe to our channel, click the like button on this video, leave a comment, and visit our Store Envy. That's our official online merch store where we sell a bunch of geek t-shirts. That is thegeekiverse.storeenvy.com, Store Envy with one E. Seth, you're Cap Amerikanski on Twitter.
I am at Cap Amerikanski. Find me.
I'm at Josiah D. Leroy. Thank you so much for watching. Have a happy and safe 4th of July.
And if you may join me in a you and me.
And me.
Booyah, Grandma! Booyah! Yeah, that's where I was going with that. Love it.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. Have a happy Crash weekend.